Hello everyone, welcome to Cloud Made Easy. So today I'm going to discuss two very important questions which is coming on the new exam SAACO2, which is AWS Certified Solution Architect. And the first question I would like to discuss that came on August 9th. So the question is, a company is required to build its own infrastructure on AWS and migrating multiple applications to the cloud within a month. Okay, so each application has approximate 50 TB of data transferred. So this is one key phrase that we need to consider. After migration is complete, this company and its parent company will both require to secure network connectivity with the consistent throughput with their data center. So here basically they are expecting they have an on-prem server and they are going to migrate their infrastructure, or they have acquired a new company and they want to establish on-prem to AWS network. So it could be a site-to-site VPN, it could be a direct connection. Let's see. Uh, Centers to the application. A solution architect must ensure that one-time data migration and ongoing network connectivity. So there is two requirement. There will be a one-time data migration which is 50 TB data transfer, and the ongoing they need to set up one network connectivity for ongoing data transfer. Which solution meet the requirement? Okay, fine. So the key phrase is 50 TB data transfer, which is basically referring it's a snowball. So if we just scan down our options, we can see snowball is mentioned here and here. So we can consider these two, but I just wanted to go through all the options. So the first option, AWS Direct Connect with both initial transfer and ongoing transfer. So they are telling basically for initial phase for 50 TB data transfer, they will going to set AWS Direct Connect, and for their ongoing transfer also they are following the same, which is possible but not feasible in that one, because AWS Direct Connect is a dedicated line which really takes a lot of time to initial setup, like it take more than a month. So this solution though it's correct, but for time being I just wanted to discard. I'll moving to the next one, AWS site to site VPN, which is again a feasible approach for both initial transfer and ongoing connectivity. But again, I would not recommend it for the initial one, so I just wanted to skip this one. Next, AWS Snowball for initial transfer, absolutely perfect. You can transfer up to 50 TB data. If it is more than that, you need to go for a Snowmobile, which is nothing but a track which will come to your DC or your organization for collecting data, and which you can upload a AWS bucket, S3 bucket. Just remember, you can't upload the same into the Glacier. So whatever data you are transferring to Snowball or Snowmobile, you need to upload to S3 first. If you have a requirement later, you can upload to the same to the Snowmobile as Glacier, but not directly. And they are saying a direct connect for the ongoing connectivity. This option I would say feasible. Snowmobile, I want to accept this answer, but AWS direct connect will give a secure and consistent throughput, probably the best throughput, but again it would take some time. Okay, so I just want to scan the next question. So the next options. So the next option is AWS Snowball for initial transfer, that is fine, and AWS site-to-site VPN for ongoing connectivity. Now this is little bit tricky because they are expecting so AWS site-to-site VPN can be done very quickly, but it is not secure as AWS Direct Connect. So hence, like if they are expecting a secure connection, so better to go with AWS Direct ongoing connectivity for ongoing for ongoing transfer, and for initial the Snowball. So I would like to go with this. Okay, fine. Next, move on to the next which is also important because it has came around July 2020 new exam pattern. So the question is, a solution architect is designing a solution where user will be able to directly directed to a backup static error page. Okay, so they are saying if there is a error page, so for them they will have error page, which is fine, and probably they will be hosting the same to S3. Not sure, they haven't told it. Let's see. The primary website DNS record are hosted to Amazon Route 53. Okay, where the domain is pointing to the application load balancer. They are using a ALB, so no need to bring S3 in the picture. Fine. Which configuration should the solution architect use to meet the company's needs while minimizing change the infrastructure overhead? Okay, fine. So they are basically telling they have error page, that is and they want to share like show the back error page once the site is not available. So how they can configure Route 53 with minimum infrastructure over it? So they don't want to change a lot of they don't want to change a lot of things. So history will not come into picture, I hope. Let's scan the options. So point the Route 53 alias record to Amazon CloudFront distribution with ALB as one of its origin. Then create a custom error page in the distribution. So they are basically saying point a Route 53 alias record to the CloudFront distribution. Now alias record is something, it's a domain name like facebook.com, and which is not feasible in that case. I mean, I don't know, like I don't understand basically how they are planning to create it. So this is not the perfect answer. Set up a Route 53 active passive failover, which is good. Direct traffic to a static error page within the S3 bucket when Route 53 health check determined ALB endpoint is unhealthy. This is the perfect answer, I would say, because you are having a health check in place. So if health check fails, they are routing to that particular static error page which is hosted in S3. Okay, so this may be a possible solution. Okay, now let's scan the other bit. Update the Route 53 record with latency based routing policy. Okay, so after reading this phrase, I need not to scan to the next one, because latency based is something you are just want to improve your performance. That time you will be going for latency based, where the load balancer or a Route 53 can decide if you have less latency, the traffic will be routed to that particular node. So this is not the case, and backup static page to the most responsive endpoint. So this is actually wrong. And the next is set up a Route 53 active passive configuration with the ALB. Okay, and Amazon EC2 instance hosts a static error page. Route 53 send all requests. They are also saying the same. They would have a health checks in ALB. So if it is failed, they will be routing to a error page which is hosted in EC2. Now for like the problem is to keep a error page, I will never, being a like architect, I'll never want to launch a EC2 instance just to keep one error page. Better to host it to S3, right? So I would go with this one. So this will be my answer. So hope you guys enjoy the video. Stay tuned for next few questions. Thank you.